Like, I've always in my life wanted to be able to answer some of the big questions that you managed to ask here. I'd just like to know, like, where are some of your sources of inspiration, like, to answer the questions that you answer all the time to groups like this?
You see, I am no different from the rest of us here. I'm no different. I'm telling this is not a modest comment. It's a real, it's an honest comment. I too am struggling. For me, what I'm doing is also a learning curve. I've been learning on the hoof. While I'm working, I'm learning new techniques. So I am trying to resolve my human condition through the process that I'm undergoing, like talking about religion, lecturing about religion, facing challenging questions, going to schools, colleges, universities, theological colleges where they drain you. They literally, suck out your blood and want to keep, destroy your life force. So I face all these kind of challenges, and I'm learning while I'm making my presentation. So it's a learning curve for me too. So I don't have answers. I too am struggling with my human condition, saying, what am I doing here? What is this all about? Why am I caught up in this game? So I too am struggling. But the source of my inspiration, the thing that is holding me up, if you like, because I need to be held up, otherwise I'll collapse. The thing that is holding me up is a super personality of modern India. And majority of Hindus have not even come across the name, because this guy never promoted himself. He promoted principles of religion and not himself. He put himself last. And this gentleman, I think all Hindus should be aware of and be made aware of again and again, is Swami Vivekananda. If you are serious about, look, when I was struggling, I was just like you, I was studying physics, you are studying at Oxford, I was studying at Imperial College. And I came across the teachings and the life and teachings of Swami Vivekananda. And I looked at it and I said, this is dramatic material here. Do you know why it caught my attention? Because the first thing that immediately drew me is the fact that here is a man who is talking about these things that are called, these are kind of abstract ideas of the spirit or religion or eternal soul and all this marvelous airy-fairy stuff. He was talking about it from first-hand experience. His life was charged up because it was, if you like, very strongly based on experience, his own experience, not his teacher's experience, not the experience of ancient rishis of India, him establishing it. So when he was talking about the spirit, he would light up, he would really blaze like blaze of fire, and anybody who came near him got really charged up. So I said, who is this? Who is this? And it is this personality whose foundation was not just intellectual gymnastics and lecturing. His foundation was first-hand experience. He was establishing God experience throughout his life. Can you imagine a person like that? While he's talking, suppose he's talking to an audience, he actually doesn't see human beings. He sees, if you like, the charged spirit looking at him through all these eyes. Can you imagine the power it would generate in the audience itself? The audience were thrilled. The audience would be mesmerized. The reason is because he was talking from experience. Whenever you come across personalities who talk about religion from first-hand experience, means God, I know God. Not about God, I read a book and I know about it, I can philosophize. That is not very useful. I know God because I experience God day and night. Throughout my life, I can experience God. When somebody talks like that, then you say, this is strange here. Can it be true or is he making it up? You might be thinking that maybe he's just gone completely wild. Why is he talking like that? But when you analyze his life and the way he lived his life, this is if you like religion or spirituality in practice. He's practicing this idea that he's promoting, he's putting them into practice in his routine life. So when he makes a friend, when he's traveling, look, I just give an example. When he was traveling to United States, on the boat he met Jamsetji Tata. You heard of Tata and this new car that is going to be manufactured for £1,000. The forefather, the predecessor to the Tata community, the Tata family, was Jamsetji Tata, a very astute businessman. And he met him on the ship going to America because he was traveling as well, and they were fellow passengers. And just a small conversation with Swami Vivekananda turned, if you like, this Jamsetji Tata into a major philanthropist. And the Tata Institute of Technology, which became very famous for all the research that modern India required, came about with that conversation. And he said, Mr. Vivekananda, after meeting you, remember you thought to give me those ideas? I put them into practice. I put so many, millions of rupees into setting this up. So if you had an encounter of this kind, these are the encounters that we wish we all have in our lives. Encountering somebody who is talking about religion from experience. So whenever you come across such personalities, it will drive you, it will raise you. So I have been caught up, if I can say the word, I've been caught by this cyclone of the Hindu tradition called Vivekananda. That is the source of my inspiration. And whenever I come across youth and say, where do we look? Where do we look? I say, look, forget about searching here and there. Just focus on this personality, and I challenge you, find anything in his teaching which kind of in a way offends your common sense. Nothing real. It flows because he's talking from experience, and he has no difficulty with rationality. He doesn't take on things which are irrational and offensive for a modern youth. They are very rational. So if that doesn't grab your attention, nothing else. So when I was studying Vivekananda at the same time doing physics, I said, physics, this is airy-fairy. This is reality. Normally people will say physics is reality, physical, real material life, material world that we are exploring. And this is spirit and airy-fairy. After studying Vivekananda, I said, no, this is reality. This is airy-fairy. And we'll talk about it when we talk about physics later, why it's airy-fairy.